Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a happy good morning to you wherever you are. This is the Clara Luper's radio show, a show that you have waited all the week to hear a different side of the story, the other side. This program is brought to you by Marilyn Hildred, your Allstate insurance agent. Maryland is located at 730 West Britton Road in Oklahoma City. And she is waiting on you. She wants to be your insurance agent. Whether we are talking about life insurance, automobile insurance, boat insurance, name it, and call Maryland 843-0811. April and the whole group will be there to serve you. Today's program is also brought to you by Johnson Shadina's Daycare, owned by Mr. and Mrs. Paul Mathis. A daycare center full of activities, full of excitement, full of dedication, and full of delicious breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Why don't you give them a call? Why don't you call Johnson Shadina's Daycare? Last week was a week of celebration. It was the presidential inauguration of the 15th president of Langston University. It started with a Sunday sermon. That was unusual. That was great. It consisted of activities all through the week. I had the opportunity to attend the presidential luncheon and the women's seminar to hear the ambassador from South Africa speak. It was quite an occasion. We were able to see people that we had not seen in years. They came from all directions. They filled the 34th floor of the Petroleum Club. But then last night, it was the presidential inaugural fundraising gala and reception. The president dressed in white, beautiful white evening gown, white shoes, and a white evening hat. I call her the hat-wearing president. She was there with all smiles. And in her remarks, she acknowledged all of her family. Her mother, her father, cousins, her aunts, her uncles, all of the family. And she was so humble last night. She stated that she has great plans for Langston University to move it from excellence to greatness. She thanked everybody for joining them. She asked the people to enjoy the evening. Dr. Joanne W. Haysbert, the 15th president of Langston University. And Langston University has something different. They have a statue of her on the campus of Langston University. The Langston University Jazz Ensemble played last night. The sounds of a group, 20 outstanding student musicians, committed to providing all within earshot the smooth sounds of big band style jazz. Loretta Devine was here, a Houston-born performer. Many of you remember her in the movie Waiting to Exhale, Dream Girl. She was there last night. Lenny Williams, owner of one of the most glorious high tenor voices in the annals of R&B. You remember him for his hit So Very Hard to Go What Is Here, and Don't Change Horses in the Middle of a Stream. Short Dog was there. They came. They filled the ground floor of the Chaz Bank. It was something to remember. Yes, you've never seen people so well dressed. Evening gowns like you have never seen before. Men dressed in all directions. Oh, it was something to behold. If you missed that, you really missed something. Well, your home is on the hill of Langston University. That was home to many of the people. Because one of the speakers said that, may the work that I have done speak for me, and may the work that the president of Langston University will speak for her. It was an opportunity to raise some money for Langston University. For example, there were several checks that were presented, and one check in particular was for $75,000, which came from the staff of Langston University. This project was to help fund scholarships for young people in order that they would have a chance. Yes, they were all there. There was a reception music from 6:30. It was a welcome and introduction of celebrity hostesses by that lovely Miss Langston University, Rachel Goff. Now we can look at Loretta Devine from a different standpoint, and we can hear the words of the Vice President, Dr. Robert L. Smothers. And then the dinner. The dinner was served. There were special remarks and a musical tribute to Langston's 15th president. There were a formal introduction of Langston University's 15th and first female president. And then there were the corporate sponsors. HSBC, who was a $10,000 sponsor. The Habitat Company, LLC, 2 tables between $5,000 and $9,909. The Oklahoma State University Department of Communications, McFarland's Davis Architects, between $2,000 and $4,990. There were several $1,000 sponsors, for example, Allen Brown Architect, Cole and Reed PC, Derek Freeman, William Gaffney in memory of John and Doretha Gaffney, Wanda F. Sharp Green, Rita Haysbury's Institutional Advancement and Development, Judge Ivy Roberts, Langston University's Booster Club, Langston University National Alumni Association, Langston University Oklahoma City Tulsa Campus, Langston University Student Government Association, Langston University's Transportation Center of Excellence, Charlotte Miller, Oklahoma Department of Transportation, Oklahoma Gas and Electric, Oklahoma Natural Gas, Oklahoma State University Presbyterian Health Foundation, Senator Connie Johnson School of Business, School of Education and Behavioral Sciences, Southwestern Urban Foundation, Students for Free Enterprises, Student Affairs and Enrollment Service, Kenneth Watson, and others. Yes, those were some of the $1,000 sponsors, but it was an affair to be remembered. And then there are always 2 sides of a story. Somebody asked me, what did I like? I enjoyed the people, I enjoyed the program, but there was one thing that I didn't like. And I don't know, because you always criticize me because I'm always talking about middle-class, educated blacks. Did you realize the thousands of dollars that black people are spending at the Petroleum Club? Just think about that for a minute. Not one black waiter, not one black waitress. That's a shame. And I want to repeat that. And whoever's planning programs at the Petroleum Club, all you have to do is to tell those people that you want diversity. If they are going to take our money and they are taking it because they aren't letting you have that free, you got to have some black waiters and waitresses. Don't tell me how educated you are. Don't tell me about your doctor's degrees and where you have traveled to. But I'm telling you that until black people learn how to help other black people. Now, all the money that we spent last night and this past week at the Petroleum Club, not one black waitress, not one black waiter served us. And they always served our bread when we were just about through. I didn't like that, and I'll tell the Petroleum Club. I don't know how you felt about it. Maybe you didn't care. Maybe you have it made. But maybe you don't remember the days when Petroleum Club used to have black waiters and waitresses. I know I was talking to one of my sorority sisters about it. I said, look at this. This is a funny situation. What is happening in Oklahoma City? Where are the black waitresses? Don't tell me they don't want to work. Don't tell me that. Oh, well. Anyway, I don't know how you feel about it, but that's what I didn't like about the dinner. All those educated people had to say is, we would like to have at least two black waitresses or black waiters. Some of the smartest black waitresses and waiters are in Oklahoma City. How can they get work when we have the biggest thing out and don't have one black waiter or one black waitress? I just want to see how you feel about it. Now, it's out and you can tell the Petroleum Club, you can tell the Chase, because it's easier for them to give us breaks to leave our people out. But anytime you leave one person out, you're really leaving all of us out. This is Clara Luper, and if you don't like what I say, and if it's left to black educated people, we wouldn't be where we are today. Don't ask me, call up Martin Luther King and ask him how many black doctors of philosophy, doctors of environment, doctors that was with him. And look at the crowd. Look through the crowd. It was an average person. Now, who would have thought that Clara Luper would have the audacity to criticize the Petroleum Club, the Chase Bank, and the caterers, whoever they were? Maybe you know, if so, call me so I can call their names, because they've got to hire some black waitresses. You know, when I look back over the progress that we have made in Oklahoma, we have made progress, but we have not made enough. Well, this is the Clara Luper Radio Show, and today's show is What You Think. You can call South. You can serve Southwest salad. You can serve baked chicken with cream cheese. You can serve anything you want to. But until we get some black waitresses, that food is not as good as it should be. Yes, Clara Luper said it, and if those at the Petroleum Club don't like what I say, why don't you be fair with us? If you're going to take black people's green money, we should also have some black waitresses and waiters. Now, that's a fact. If any of you agree with me, call me. My telephone number out here is 672-1220. This is Clara Luper. Well, we cannot go to the top unless all of us go to the top. We can dress up, we can look good. But if we are leaving the brothers and the sisters who do not have the education qualifications, maybe they cannot quote Shakespeare and others, but they can sure wait tables. And I want the Petroleum Club and those people that are truly black. But a lot of people are black on the outside, like an oleo. Okay, well, Clara Luper said, and if you don't like what I say, maybe you enjoyed seeing everybody serving you. People that have not been in this country long, that's come in and gotten all the jobs, you're supporting. Martin Luther King said, don't support and finance your own segregation. Hello?
Hello, Miss Luper.
Yes?
How you doing?
Oh, I'm fine.
That's good. You know, I believe in the same thing. When you speak, I really listen. But, you know, we do. They need to have black waitress, you know. I feel like we can be just as good as anybody else. And Miss Clara Luper, you just keep on talking. I don't care if nobody don't like to hear what you got to say. That's their problem, not yours. Bye.
Well, thank you so very kindly. I'm asking for diversified waitresses. If you got white waitresses, can't you have other races? Can't you have some black waitresses? You're spending your money. Martin Luther King will soon be celebrating his birthday, and people be marching talking about a dream. But Martin Luther King taught us not to finance our own segregation. This is the Clara Luper Radio Show, and today is a very important day because we want to hear from some of our candidates. And that's another thing. Black people will look in your eyes and say, oh, I love you, I want to help you, but when it comes to spending their money, they're not going to spend it with you. Hello, this is Clara. Hello?
Yes, Ms. Luper.
Yes.
This is Pastor Ware.
Yes, Pastor.
Yes, I'm enjoying what I'm hearing.
Well, thank you.
Yes, you're doing a super job, and I've got your back.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Well, thank you so very kindly. Today we must look at ourselves. We must look at ourselves as black people where we want to go. Why is it that we don't patronize black businesses? Why is it? And last night, I think of probably, I don't know how many guests were there, but I'd say there were 500. It wasn't but 22 whites there. And the whites are really benefiting from the financial side of Langston University. The builders, the contractors, the workers, where are they? Now, you can't be my friend just to hand me a little donation. You've got to show that you are interested in my development. And somebody said, Clara, that's why white folks don't support you. Now, you aren't talking because you don't know who supports me. If you don't believe people support me, you should have been at the fair and see those white people buying Clara Luper's lemonade, Miss Merlin's gumbo, CP's catfish. You should have seen Alicia's shrimp on a stick. White people will support you, but you gotta know, let them know where you stand on issues. For example, in negotiating, don't forget the brothers. Don't forget your brothers who do not have the education maybe that you have. And I'm like Mr. Stale. Mr. Stale told us on his birthday that one thing I've learned as I grow old, and that is I don't know anything. And certainly, this is a learning experience for me. And I am observant. I am looking to see where blacks are. Yes, this is Clara Luper, and Clara Luper is expressing her opinion. Hello.
Hello, Miss Luper. This is Jeannie Dickens. I'm a wife of Jerome Dickens Jr., and I love your show. I just want to tell you that. And I also believe in supporting our own community. And I would like to share with you and your audience, if I may please, that we have a Blessed to Give outreach ministry, and today we are having a fundraiser barbecue right across the street from Stale's Restaurant. And we would love the public to just come out and support our quality thrift shop. We are there to give and to help people. We are asking for donations for the fundraiser, for the barbecue. But please come in, and if someone needs something out there to go and say they have an interview for a job or a new position and they're needing clothing, we have beautiful clothes that have been donated to us, some with the tags on. We would love to give that to our community, the people in our community. We have hairdressers standing by that are willing to give the people that needs a new do or a haircut in order to present themselves and to feel confident when they walk that first day on that job or that interview. And I just appreciate the opportunity to share this with you. I've tried to call in many times, but you're always busy, as usual. But I do enjoy your show. I commend you, and I'm new to Oklahoma. I've only been here about 9 years, but I love it.
Well, thank you so very kindly. And you're having a barbecue across from Stale's Restaurant.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
It's in the old service station there. We've got that building now, and that's where Blessed to Give outreach ministry will be.
Oh.
And we're putting in a quality thrift shop. We have some things already in place, and a lot of really good clothing and some other really nice things. And we're looking for more donations, of course. And again, what we have, we just love the people to come out and support what we're doing. We're trying to put a computer lab in as well to also serve our community. But it's all about our community.
Well, thank you so very kindly. Thank
you.
This is the Clara Luper Radio Show. Let the people speak. And at 9:30, we're going to deal with another controversial issue. And today, next week, the NACP State Convention will be held at in Poto, Oklahoma. I don't know how many of the educated blacks, the blacks that have profited because of the NACP, will be supporting it. I don't know, but I do know one thing, that if it had not been for the NACP, according to Jimmy Stewart and others, we wouldn't have the executive in Oklahoma Natural Gas, OG&E, and whatever. They tell me we even have a vice president of OG&E that's black. Have you ever heard from him? Do you hear from? Are we in better shape now that we have blacks in authority? Are those blacks that have gotten up look down on those of us that are still confined to the northeast side? We know you can't live in Oklahoma City on the east side because you've got to move on out. But brother, let me tell you, the east side shall rise again. Oh, I would like to thank all of you that supported us during the Oklahoma State Fair. And I would like to thank all of you for remembering my son during his illness. We really appreciate it. This is Clara Luper. Hello?
Yes, Sister Clara.
Yes.
This is Elder Walker. I just want to say and brief, not taking up your program, but I did observe 11 days as I was out there, that line that you had coming into your place. And, well, I won't say how many other faces I've seen. I've seen a lot of the white faces was lined up in there. I've seen a very few of us. But anyway,
well, that
catfish was something, and I announced it on my radio program yesterday.
Well, I sure appreciate that. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, Reverend Walker, you know we love you. You've been kind to us through the years. And you have been able to see beyond what people are saying into what they are actually doing. Thank you so very kindly. This is Clara Luper. Well, at 9:30, we're going to deal with a controversial issue, and I'm waiting for my son, Calvin, to call me. I miss him so much. He's really the backbone of the Clara Luper radio show, because he would always do so many little things that you probably wouldn't even think about. Calvin would be on his job. Hurry up, Calvin, and come on back, because I need you. The president of Langston University said last night, "My heart is filled with joy. My heart is filled with joy. My cup runneth over. I'm going to move Langston University from excellence to greatness." Watch the move. Hello, this is Clara.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mrs. Hunter.
And Mrs. Luper, I was just listening to you talking about the affair last night, and I'm so happy that you attended the affair and that it was a wonderful, wonderful program. And I, too, agree with what you were saying about the waitresses that we have there at the petroleum company. I have been to many, many, many lunches there. And as you said, we had no black waitresses. I don't know where they are, or maybe I do not know if they ask them or if they are informed about the affairs that they're going to have. But I'm sure that from now on they will be asking them and they're being invited. But I'm sorry that you were disappointed in that affair. But I just want to tell you real fast about on yesterday, as you know, at Douglas High School, they had their parent conference day.
That was all over Oklahoma City schools.
Right. Well, this one was at Douglas School. It was all over, I guess, all over Oklahoma City for the high schools and middle schools. So I had a person in both, so I went over there to let them know that I'm interested in Douglas School and I want to see Douglas School at least move to excellence, and then probably we can move up to this next step that the president is talking about. But you won't believe, on my arrival, I don't know if you've been to Douglas School or not, on my arrival, there were no one at the door to tell you the directions in which to go.
Oh, they thought you should know that.
Well, I don't know how you can know that, Mrs. Luper. You need to go over to that school and find out.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to go into Hall E and Hall F and S, and I'll go down the hallway, and I do not see There's no signs in the hallway as to where E Hall is, A, B, or Alpha, M, whatever the hall name is. There's no signs in the hallway.
There must be a directory out in front.
Director, you didn't see anyone.
Okay.
And then when I did happen to see them, and I said, "Do you work here?" And they said, "Yes." I said, "Where is E Hall?" They looked. They said, "Well, I don't know because I work in such and such a place." And then I said, "Well, I'd go to another one." So I met that was a lady told me, she didn't know. So I met a young man that was working there, and I asked him where. I said, "Where is E Hall or S Hall?" Because I'm looking for E118 and S101 and 111. So he said, "Well, I don't know." He said, "But you see these great big balls here on this floor?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, you go and find one of these, and then you look up to see what is up over the door there. Then you go down to the next one, and you find another one." And I said, "As big as this building is, you mean you got to walk from ball to ball?" He said, "Well, I don't know where it is, and I can't help you with it because I don't know if it's down that way and then turn or how." So I said, "Well, fine, no." So I walked on down the hall. I ran into a lady that I knew. She asked me what I was looking for, and I told her. So she said, "Well, I don't know, but let me go find the room for you because I know you can't do all of this walking because it's too far." So this young lady went and she found the room, and she went to my right, and she walked and walked, and finally she came back, and she went to the left, and she walked and walked, and then finally she said, "Here it is over here." So here is the hallway and can you believe that no place in that hallway do they have signs telling you the direction of the rooms of the halls, that you have to walk all the way down past a hallway into another one just to find where you're going. And then, I mentioned to some of the teachers about leave no child behind. I said, I find out that at Douglas, I'm interested in Douglas, and I want to improve Douglas. And they tell me that Leave No Child Behind program was kind of omitted. They said that wasn't for Douglas High School. That was just for those charter schools out there. I said that was for all of the schools according to the reading, because I went to the library and got the whole history of it and read about leaving no child behind. And they said because we left no child behind, that was our problem was attendance. I said, attendance, you had the kids, where were they? They didn't come to your class? I said, no, you were sending them to into the study hall, SSI, or you then the kids would get mad and go home, and you didn't care. So your attendance failed. And, the attitudes and the philosophies of those teachers that I taught has to be changed, Mrs. Luper. I'm out here for correction, and I want to ask my radio audience this question. I talked with one person, and he told me, now remember, this is middle school and high school. I was talking to this teacher, and he said, well, you know what? I think this person is already passed in the middle school. And I think he ought to have a test and put him in special ed. I said, what are you talking about? I said, they're going to put kids in special ed. They find that out from grade 1 through 7. This is middle school. What are you talking about? Putting a child in special ed. Well, they have one-on-one contact there. I said, you can have one-on-one contact in your class if you would have it, because special ed teachers have as many kids in their special ed class if there is that many special ed students. And I said, you don't have to have no one-on-one. I said, but I went to school, we had no special education programs at all. So I don't know why y'all have to have special education people, because we didn't have everybody get the same amount of training, and everybody learned and everybody passed.
Well, Mrs. Hunter, things are better at Douglas because aren't they wearing uniforms this year?
Oh, Mrs. Luper, you ought to know about them uniforms.
I don't know about uniforms.
Yeah, they're wearing those uniforms. And they're asking the kids to do this and do that. And they ask the kids to do this. But I'm wondering, what are we asking the teachers to do? What are we asking them to do? And I said to one teacher, I said, when I was teaching, we had a vocational program, and we had to visit some of our students. We had to visit. And I said, I wish, not only leave people behind, that the teachers visit the homes. Well, that would be fine if they want to pay us to visit. I said, they didn't pay us. That was written in our contract. That was part of our job. And that ought to be in your contract and part of your job. Then you will find one lady gave a student a 0 because he didn't have a notebook. The kid had a composition book, and she said, you don't have a composition book in this class of mine. You got to have a folded notebook, notebook where it clamps open. And I said, you all didn't have that on your list. Well, no, but I sent it home by the kid and told him to tell his parent to buy that. Now, at the beginning of the school, you buy all the equipment that you think that your kid needs for the school. And I said, this 0, what is this 0 for? Is this an F? No, it's a 0. I said, well, why did you give him the 0? I said, does this 0 count against his grade? Yes, it does. I said, then if this 0 counts against his grade, then you're giving him an F. This is an F for not having that notebook. We did that one time. You remember our club did that one time because a teacher gave a student an F because the student didn't have a pencil and paper?
Okay, Letty, we've been told that at some of the schools now, if you want to go to the restroom during a class period, you can't just get up and go. With your teacher's permission, you have to have the principal to escort you.
That's right. They tell me that, some of the parents had students with them. I didn't take mine. I wish they had. I wouldn't have been looking all over everywhere for the rooms. And then they said, if you don't go during the break, and then during the hour you want to go to the restroom, you got to wait until they call the principal, and then the principal has to send somebody to get you, take you to the restroom.
I don't believe
that.
Now,
I want my audience. Now, I'm saying
I don't believe that.
I don't want to believe that either, and I don't want to believe what I heard and what I said. Now, I'm not going to tell you all of the things that I experienced at Douglas High School. And Douglas High School has been the pride of the East Side. But I'm saying that we need to change our philosophies, and we need to take another look. These teachers need to go back to school, and they need to go take some ACT tests like they are giving these students so that we know where they are. Because to me, if you're out there teaching for improvement, those kids may as well stay at home. And they said if the bell ring and you're right there at the door, the teacher don't let you in. They send you to SSI. I said, but you're right. They said, the bell's rung. You outside. You're supposed to be on the inside. Let's give or take. Because, I think about all the things that our government has done when we was trying to start the first airspace ship, and how they set it up and it fell back down into their laps, and billions of dollars was lost. But they didn't stop there. They kept going. And the kids over in school do any little thing, and you punish him and send him out of the classroom and stop his educational learning. Clara, I just can't understand it. I cannot understand it.
Well, what we need to do is to get the superintendent.
I am going to this board, and I'm going down to the superintendent, and I'm going to express my opinions. I still say I stand to be corrected. But I taught school for 42 years, and I had all kinds of students. Sure, the students are different now. Sure, I told the lady.
I haven't seen any difference in students. What's the difference?
I told her, I said, you were different when you were in school than the students now. I said, but the teachers tolerated you. And one girl I was in, one teacher, I was sitting in there, and we were talking, and I was saying, well, you said this and that. Well, I better go because I got a parent in there I'm talking to. I said, I thought I was a parent, and you were in here talking to me. She got up, now because they're supposed to come in the room where the parents were. Not the parents weren't supposed to go in their room. Now, I'm sitting in this room that they told me, and they'd go get your teacher and bring her to the room. I got a parent in my room. This is what she told me, so I got to go. Because she didn't want me to see what she was doing, giving all these zeros and things. And do you know that teacher got up and walked and went in there to her room to talk to somebody? And they told me the parents are supposed to come in the room where I was. Will y'all explain that to me? I can't understand that.
Okay, well, we'll find someone to explain.
Oh, okay. I'm sure somebody's going to call in and talk with me and explain all this to me. And I do want to say congratulations to you for going on the program yesterday. And I want to say hello to Calvin, and I hope Calvin will continue to improve and get back on the radio. However, I do listen to him. He's able to call in near the end of the program. And I say goodbye, and I'll see you at church on Sunday.
Okay.
And
then.
pray for all of those that we will want the improvements for, that they will come. Bye now.
Bye-bye. That was Lady Ruth Hunter, her philosophy. Do you really believe that if a child is in a classroom and needs to go to the bathroom, they got to call the principal and have the principal to send someone to send him to the restroom? I don't know. I can't. That's hard for me to understand. But once again, there are a lot of things that I don't understand. But in the closing moments of our program today, we're going to look at a problem in Oklahoma City. We have a serious problem, and that's crime. And I want to hear from you. It doesn't make sense. We are the best educated generation that we've seen. We have more churches, we have more school books, and that, but yet we have crime. We have killings like we have never had before. Why? What do you think? Would you call me at 672-1220 and tell me, what do you think? And what can we do to stop this crazy killing? It's heartbreaking. Somebody to walk in somebody's house and kill not only an adult but a child. What do you think? And we aren't people that always commit suicide. Study some history. We always find a better day, a better opportunity. And I want you to help us. What's the real problem? You pick up the paper, you have more deaths, people killing each other. We used to be afraid of the Ku Klux Klan, the White Citizens Council, but now it's those of us killing each other. Why? What's your thinking? Will we be able during the month of October to substitute love for hate? Are we really so mean that we've got to kill somebody, steal from somebody? Well, we've got to take a look at ourselves. We're going to end up as a lost generation. Please call me at 672-1220 because this crime's going to have to stop. We're going to have to stop killing each other and killing ourselves. Why would a person want to commit suicide? I have never in my life seen the likes of it. This is Clara Luper. Hello?
Miss Clara Luper,
Yes.
I'm listening to your show, and you're talking about this killing and all this stuff. I'll tell you what it is, I think. We have, a generation have gotten away from God. You know, people have forgotten how to pray and stuff like that. It's just, you know, there's no God in us anymore. You know, they want to take God out of schools. You know, we used to pledge allegiance in school. You can't even do that anymore. So, you know, I just think if we can all get back to God and get some God in our lives.
How do we do it? How do we do it? We got churches on every corner.
Well, see, the thing about churches is if you go to church and you don't put nothing in it, then you won't get nothing out of it. You know what I'm saying? You got to put some work in it. You can't just go up in church and just sit there. You have to go and get something out of it. I mean, because it's there for us. And if you go and you don't put nothing in, you don't get nothing out of it. So that's just my thought on it. I mean, you know, if we pray and mean what we pray and do what we're supposed to do and get back to God, some of this stuff will cut out. I mean, there's no love. Love for many has waxed cold. Anytime you can go to a house and kill a child, execution style, there's no love in you. There's just no love in you. And the love is gone wax cold.
Okay.
And we have to turn to God.
Well, thank you so very kindly. So
Yes, ma'am.
Turn to God.
And we love you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. This is the Clara Luper Radio Show, and I need your opinion. We've got to stop this killing. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Luper.
Yes?
You know, God's word say, my people is called by my name will turn from their wicked ways.
Yes.
You know, I tried to commit suicide one time, but I don't know, but the word of God brought me right back. But until we seek God, we're going to continue, have all these problems.
What kind of problem could a person have to want to commit suicide? Because they don't understand black history. Because tomorrow is always a new day. Joy comes in the morning.
Yes, Miss Luper, you're right. It does. But, consider what you've been through.
Well, what could you go through? If people mistreat you, so what? People call you names, so what? People don't support you, so what? You know who you are.
That's why I listen to you. That's what brought me back to myself. Because, like you said, I was worried about what people thought about me. I was worried about what people, think I could do. But you brought me back.
Well, I don't want you worrying about what people say about you, because if you're fat, they say you're too fat. If you're skinny, they're going to say you're too skinny. Don't worry about what people say about you, but you're concerned with what you say about yourself.
Yeah.
Now, God made you, and he made you for a certain purpose.
Yeah.
And that's to help somebody else and get out of this suicide. Okay. That's not black folks' thing. That's somebody else's thing.
Right.
Well, thank you for calling me, okay?
Bye-bye.
This is Clara Luper, and I need your opinion. We've got to stop this killing. We've got to stop it. And we've got to teach our children what is good about life.
Hello?
Can't take anything.
Hello?
Okay, yes? You may call me at 672-1220, and I'm waiting on Calvin. Calvin's supposed to call me. Well, congratulations to all of you, and they're having a Black Arts Festival at Edwards Park today, and I do hope people will support that. Unless we can support our own, we are trying to fly without any wings. We are like, I don't know what we are like, because it's too much for me even to comprehend. But I can say to you that we can speak out about killing. We can speak out against suicide. Hello, this is Clara.
Hello, Mrs. Luper. This is Vivian Miller, one of your former Dungey students.
Yes.
And we have started community prayer out in the Spencer area at Christian Post Park every Tuesday from 6 to 7, because it is going to take prayer to stop all the violence. And we have, proud to say that we have had over 25 ministers to come out, and we are joining the churches together. We've had our representatives out. Senator Connie Johnson has been out, Mike Shelton. We have had task force from the Oklahoma City Police Department, and because we truly believe that the only safe city is a saved city.
You are wonderful. You've done a pretty job. You own that corner, and you turned it into an informational corner, haven't you?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm real proud of you, Mrs. Miller.
Thank you very much.
And may God continue to bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, come up. Let's come up with some solutions. Those of you out in Radio Land, you ushers, you deacons, those of you that want to really help, because you got to spread that gospel further than in the sanctuary of your churches. We've got to get out here and stop the mad killings. They have what is known as ANG, another N-word gone. Nobody cares, but we care about ourselves. Each one of us say, I'm not going to hurt anybody. And you can say what you want to about my uneducated grandparents, but they say, with these black hands, I will not hurt anyone. This is Clara. Hello? Hello? I want to make sure I have you. Hello?
How you doing this morning?
Oh, I've been waiting on this call.
You have?
Yes.
Well, I listened to your program this morning, and I'm very much disturbed with all the killing going on. My solution is that I feel that if we can get the ministers and our official, city officials to come together and set a plan. I noticed when they had that problem down in Bricktown, they just solved that problem
immediately.
real quick.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right. You put a curfew down there.
Yes, and when they had that problem down in Bricktown, any time that crime is anywhere besides on the east side, people are not concerned about it. But if they reach out in Edmond and out down in Bricktown and places where the other areas are, they're not really concerned. So the east side is just as important as Edmond or Bricktown and the other areas as far as human being is concerned.
You're exactly right.
So my concern is that if the preachers, the ministers, and official people will get together and set a plan together, take curfew or whatever, I know that we can solve this problem, but it's going to take the city officials and the religious people all to come together and set out what can we do about this problem and set out and set a plan. And I believe that we can work this thing out.
Oh, thank you so very kindly, and thank you for your kind words
You're welcome.
and instruction. That's what we need. We need people to talk about it. You can't be like a peacock. We've got to talk about it. This is a problem. And you can say what you want to, but the responsibilities rest on each one of us. Clara Luper.
Good morning, Mom. How are you doing?
I've been waiting on your call all the morning,
I've
Kevin.
been waiting on the opportunity to get in to be a part of the Clara Luper radio show on this September the 30th, the last Saturday in this month. I've just been enlightened by the information that you're sharing with us. I'm extremely proud of the fact that we do have the first black woman president of Langston University out there, and that was an outstanding event from what I've heard. And I know that all of us are proud of our president, looking forward to what she will be doing during her tenure as president of our Langston University. I'm looking forward to that. I'm sorry there weren't no black waiters or waitresses there, but I don't have an explanation from that. But like you said, that depends on the management, or maybe nobody applied. You know, just because you're black don't mean that they're going to call you and say, man, we got this affair going on. Will you please come up here and be a waiter? You got to kind of be, I think now, I don't know how the waiter and waitress business goes, but you have to let people know that you're available, was my first thought as you were mentioning that. And then I was excited to hear also about the farmers market that Langston graduate is running. Well, I don't know if he's running it, but he's really has worked hard on making this farmers market possible for us, for the East Side community there on Northeast 23rd. And I'm also extremely happy to see a young man finally having his dream come true. Now, he's not a criminal, but he is a businessman, and he's got his own business finally. And Chris Harrison, I'm extremely proud of the fact that dream is coming true. Now, I don't want to be one of your customers no time soon, but I am proud of the fact that you have reached that plateau in your life where you have your dream coming true that you've worked so hard for, and that's Chris Harrison with his new funeral home there at 13th and Northeast Lottie. Then, Mom, I'm also happy about this Sunday when the Wildwood Church dedication will be there on North Kelly. And this is a new church, not a new church, an old church with a new facility that will be dedicated this Sunday. And I look forward to hearing about what the Wildwood Church will be doing to help make this community a better place. And I know that all of our churches have some kind of program for young people. Now, how do we get the young people to come in there? How do we get the that age group that people often say is lost? How do we get them to come to church? How do we get them to come to NAACP meetings, Urban League meetings? How do we tell them that there is another way besides the violence thing, besides telling them? So some kind of way, I think that's where the key is these young people have to look in that mirror and understand that the future needs to be prepared for it. Because I would really have been upset if my doctor was standing outside the operating room 5 minutes after they gotten into the surgery, and then he come in and say, "I'm sorry, I'm late." But then, you know, that's what you learn in high school, junior high school, and in your career choices. Sometimes you just can't afford to be late, and nothing. I don't know. A late doctor would really perturb the patient off, and particularly if you're that patient. And I also want to mention to the young people out there to make sure that you get your lessons, make sure that you understand what you're studying, because you never know when you have an opportunity to use that knowledge, not only possibly to save a life, but to make a life. And I think if we keep them motivated like that, help people understand that no matter what your job is, it is important for the betterment of our entire community. So that's some of the quick things that I had on my mind, Mom, except for the fact of all of those people that sent me that gigantic cards from the Oklahoma State Fair, and I want them to know that I appreciate it. I'm not going to call all of their names off, But I appreciate the goodwill card that I got from my good friends, white, black, Mexican, Indian, whatever nationalities they were. But they wrote it down, took the time to write it down, and to send it back to me. And that's just a little bit, Mom. So is there anything else that I missed? Of course there is. That is Allstate Insurance from my dear sweet sister, my dear sweet niece, April Hildred, but Merlin Hildred, April, and the entire staff there at Allstate Insurance invite you to come out and give us an opportunity to help you with your insurance needs.
But Calvin, have you heard about Kenneth Watson, who's running for district judge?
We lost him. He hung up.
Oh, Calvin hung up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Kenneth Watson is a candidate for district judge, and he will be with us here next week in detail. It will be all Kenneth Watson. We want to see you, we want to hear from you, and what have you. Kenneth Watson, it's all yours.
We have the ad, and also Calvin's back on the line.
Okay, let's hear the ad.
Okay.
Okay, listen to what Kenneth Watson has to say.
I'm Kenneth Watson, candidate for Oklahoma County District Judge, District 7. I am a third-generation Oklahoman and a product of the Oklahoma school systems. You gave me your vote of confidence during the July primary. I am again asking for your vote in the general election, November 7th. I need your vote to assure our community has a voice in the judicial system. Paid for by the Friends to elect Kenneth Watson, District Judge, Oklahoma County.
Now you've heard it. You've heard it from Kenneth Watson. That was a paid political announcement paid for by friends of Kenneth Watson. Yes, Calvin.
Yes, and Kenneth told it like it was. I look forward to that election coming up. But, you know, in order to be a part of that,
you have
to be a registered voter. And in that generation that's been making the headlines here in Oklahoma City, you check it out. It's not that many registered voters. So our job is to remind these people that not only do you have to excel in school, not only do you have to excel in your life, but you have to be a registered voter so your opinion can be felt and you can help make decisions that will affect all of us. Mom,
Calvin, you having your birthdays. It say since you've been at home recuperating that you have been practicing on singing, and you should be either better or worse.
Well, it has to be better, Mom, but I have one birthday that I missed last week. I believe that was Mrs. Leola Ford. I got away from my notes. I got one here from a young lady, Carmen, that works with Coca-Cola Company out there. But I think that I've gotten better. But I want to say thank you to all of you who have prayed with me and for me during this time of illness. I tell you, I can feel the difference, and the Lord is good. He's strong. He's really helped me through this crisis. It's been dark, but then behind that darkness, I knew that there was a silver lining, and I felt it. And when I would answer the phone and get some inspiring words from people, you know, it really has been encouraging. And don't just do it for me, but do it for anyone that you know that is sick. And because it's when you're sick, it's just something that you don't expect. But when it happens, you have to be prepared for it. If you're not prayed up and prayed down, have your friends right, I know it would be extremely difficult. But then this sickness has taught me a lot. And hopefully during the coming months that you will be able to see by my words and my actions that there is a difference. And I'm extremely proud of the fact that I have friends who have been concerned about me and called me from across the country to wish me well. But yes, I do have some birthdays. And I'll start off with this, the one here on Carmen and Miss Leola Ford, but I better do it quickly because of the fact that this is their birthday celebration. So happy birthday, Carmen. Happy birthday, Leola Ford. Happy birthday, Carmen. Happy birthday, Leola. And may you have many, many more.
Mr. Craig down in Bowley, Oklahoma is having a 100th birthday party. And
Definitely.
that's going to be what. You better sing happy birthday to him,
Brother Craig,
Calvin.
congratulations. That's a long time, but you've done a lot to make Bowley the community that it is. But your kids and your grandkids have also doing their thing. But Brother Craig, let me add you to that list of the people who are having their birthdays this week. So this part goes out to you, Brother Craig. Keep up the good work. look forward to seeing you again. Look forward to seeing your kids and grandkids. But happy birthday, Brother Craig. Happy birthday to you. Keep up the good work, and may you have many, many more.
This is Clara Luper with some final announcements. NACP convention, according to Roosevelt Milton, the president, will be held this Friday and Saturday at Carl Abbott's College in Poto, Oklahoma.
Mom.
Yes.
Remember, too, the National Association of Black Vets are having a dinner October the 7th at Tinker Credit Union. Tinker.
Okay.
Officers Club. I bet there be some black waiters and waitresses at that affair.
I don't know.
Okay.
But I know one thing. There were none at that big affair. Oh, it was a big affair. Well-dressed, well-educated people. But there were no black waitresses and no black waiters. Whose fault? Don't ask me. Call down to the Petroleum Club. Call Langston University. Dr. Mannings was the chairperson of the planning committee. And ask her if she asked for any black waitresses. You know, they say, Clara, you work so hard to get blacks integrated. That's right, but integration is a two-way street. Unless you can integrate me with some dollars, you haven't integrated me. You've handicapped me.
Well, you know, black, we have a responsibility to be ready when our name is called to.
Oh, we are ready, honey. We have spent years ready. This is Clara Luper saying, whatever you do, remember it's time to sign up for Miss Black Oklahoma, the Soul Bazaar, the NACP Youth Council. It's time now to realize that this program has been brought to you by Hometown, located at 23rd and Martin Luther King. This is Clara Luper saying, stay out of trouble. We've got to stop the killing. And we have a thank you note from T.C. Howard. Would like to thank all of you for remembering him in the death of his beautiful wife, Helen.
And also, Mom, don't forget the Gaines family with one of our firefighters.
Oh, yes, that funeral will be held today.
Yeah.
This is Clara Luper saying, I've got to go. And remember, if you're black, you're black. You can dress it up with a PhD or RHD, but you're still black. Bye-bye. I do love you.